I'm not liking it. Are you getting paid for this? The crap that I come up with is like, what is this? Hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Sam and today's video is going to be a new release reading vlog. Why did I say that like I didn't know what it was? I'm reading some new releases, some very much anticipated releases for me, and I've already read them. I'm doing this intro after I have read all of the books, so I already know how I feel, but I don't want to give any of that away. I do want to mention really quick, because I launched my Patreon yesterday. It's something that I have been thinking about. It's been in the back of my mind for probably years now. There was a big wave of creators making their Patreon, probably, I don't know, 2021, 2022-ish. And I was like, oh, I want to, but I didn't. So it's just been like in the back of my head for a little bit. And I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I did it. And I didn't want to make a whole announcement video just because, I don't know, I just didn't want to do that, but I will probably be mentioning it in my videos just a little bit here and there in the first like half of the video when I introduce the video, because you know, I want to get word out there. And in case you didn't see my community post, or if you don't follow me on Instagram and maybe you don't watch all of my videos, here it is. I'm gonna, you know, shamelessly self-plug my Patreon, which I don't do a lot. I don't like to feel like I am pressuring anyone to, you know, do anything. And I know that times are tough and money is tight for a lot of us. And, you know, I don't want it to feel like I just don't want it to feel like I'm pressuring anyone. So if you would like to support me and go over and join my Patreon, I will have it linked down below. I am really excited for it. I want to share more of just my life and my interests outside of books. I still will be, you know, having exclusive bookish videos, but I also want to have like beauty favorites and fitness content and just lifestyle content as well. So you can just kind of get to know me a little bit better. And I also am going to have, you know, life permitting weekly reading sprints. And I just want a chance to be able to connect with you all more, just more like intimately. So if you would like, I will have my Patreon linked down below. It would mean the absolute world to me if you are able to, if your life allows you to join a Patreon. I would greatly appreciate that. So I'm gonna shut up and stop rambling. Hopefully I haven't lost any of you yet. I hope you enjoy this vlog. There's some pretty hyped books in here, and yeah, it was an interesting vlog. So I hope you enjoy. I'm just about to get a workout in. I also have laundry going, so if you hear that, sorry. But Piper and I did a little shopping yesterday, which is not out of the ordinary for us, okay? We live a good girls' day. And I went into Bath & Body Works because they were having a sale, which they normally are, and they get me every time. Okay, so I got 3 candles. You guys, I am obsessed with this scent. The Midnight Blue Citrus. It just, oh my God. It smells incredible. Juicy citrus, spring water, and sweet mango. It is just, it's so good. It really is. I liked it so much that Piper and I both got the hand soap, and I got this pretty little refillable, like reusable, and it's glass soap dispenser to keep out on, you know, my kitchen sink, so it actually looks pretty. And then I got 2 more candles because they were on sale for $5.95. These are the single wick candles. I am also obsessed with this scent. It's the almond croissant. Oh my God. Again, smells incredible. I really like almond scented things. I have noticed that in my, because you know, you wouldn't think almonds smell really good, but I don't know if you've ever, just give it a try, okay? So the fragrance notes on this one is toasted almonds, vanilla glaze, and flaky croissant. It, like the perfect blend of like sweet but savory too. It is so freaking good. And again, like it so much, I also got 2 of the wallflowers in the almond croissant because these were $3.25. Also, the hand soaps were $3.25. So yeah. And then I recently put one in my library, and so I've got this scent in there now, Book Loft. So I got a refill of that one. And then I like kind of fresher scents for mine and Toy's bedroom. So I got Fiji, White Sands, and then also Tiki Beach. And then Piper, I think, got 2 for her bedroom as well. I think she got the Tiki Beach and then another like pina colada one, something like that, pineapple maybe, I don't remember. But yeah, I love Bath and Body Works so much, and anytime they have a sale, I hit them up because again, the obsession is real. And yeah, like I said, gonna go get a little back day in, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep listening to Great Big Beautiful Life or if I'm just gonna listen to some music. But if I'm being honest, I'm not loving Great Big Beautiful Life. Like, just being straight up honest, I'm not loving it right now. I'm about 44% into it. So yeah, I wanted to go into it with an open mind because I know people have not been liking it, but also people really did not like Say You'll Remember Me, and I really loved it. So I was hoping like, oh, it might be one of those things where everybody else doesn't like it, but I like it. I'm not liking it, so. But I've tried to read books prior to this one, and I've just not been liking any of them, so I think I'm just a little slumpy, which really sucks. But Murphy is snoring. Let me see if I can get it for you. Of course he stops right when but yeah. We'll see. I'll update you. Probably tomorrow, because I got a lot to do today. Bye. Hello, my friends, and happy Tuesday. I have a reading update for you on Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Ooh. I gotta say, I agree with everyone. I was really hoping that I'd be one of the few that actually ended up liking this book. No. Now, I will say, like, I didn't hate it. And I think when very popular authors like Emily Henry come out with a new book, expectations are very high. And people tend to be a little harsher on their new releases and way more harsh with their reviews when it's like an author like this, a really hyped book, really hyped author, at least in my opinion. Okay. Did this one beat out Happy Place for my least favorite Emily Henry? I think it did. I think it did. The ending did kind of pull it together for me a little bit because I did enjoy the ending, but it was the lead up to that like, what was this? What happened? So we are following 2 writers, Alice and Hayden. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people compare this to a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, specifically the seven, I am making the phone shake. I'm so sorry. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo book, okay? That does Seven Husbands a disservice, okay? Don't compare it to this. I kind of understand it, but like, let's not do that, okay? That's like comparing every single romantasy that you read to ACOTAR. Nothing is going to live up to that, so just don't do it. You're going to set yourself up for failure, okay? Don't do it. So, this is told in a dual timeline. We have Alice and Hayden in present day, where they are both writers and they are trying to interview Margaret, who she is an heiress. She was married to a very famous singer in the 50s, think like Elvis-esque. And all of a sudden she disappears and no one has seen her for years. Now, Alice has always been very just interested in her story, wanting to find her because her dad and her would listen to Margaret's husband's music, and she just like, she knew a lot of things about her life, or thought she knew a lot of things about Margaret through her father. And so she's going because she wants this opportunity and she wants to feel closer to her father who has passed. And then you have Hayden, who Hayden didn't actually hunt down Margaret. Margaret found him. And so these two writers, they go to meet up with Margaret and she's like, I don't know who I want to tell my story, so I'm gonna pay to have you live here for a month and we'll do this kind of like interview style. I'll tell you a little bit about me, you tell me a little bit about you, and we'll go from there. We'll decide who is going to write my story. So this starts out as sort of like an enemies, rivals, like workplace type thing, because they're both, you know, going for the same position. They both really want it. Okay, where did this go wrong for me? The past timeline. You all know, if you have been around on my channel for a while, I don't necessarily do well with past present timelines, and it's typically because I end up liking one timeline more than the other one, or I feel like what was included in the past, in the flashbacks, didn't really need to be there. It's just there for filler, and that is exactly what I felt the past chapters in here were. I feel like it was filler. I don't think it added anything to the overall story. They were so drawn out and just boring. And even with getting Margaret's history and her family's history, I still feel like we barely touched the surface with who she was as a person and who she was as a character. And the same way with the present day. I feel like, enemies is a very light term here because they didn't, like, what is that? I don't even know if this is like marketed as an enemies to lovers. I'm not sure. But if it is, they were enemies for a whole 5 seconds, and then they, there was the physical attraction there, and then they, were in love. I felt like there was no lead up to their romance, to them eventually getting together. I do think that Emily Henry does a really good job with the chemistry and the banter that she writes for her characters. So that is a plus, but I think that's just something that she does really well in whatever book. But I just don't feel like these two needed to be together, I didn't feel that emotional connection that I wanted to. And then there's a huge twist reveal at the end, and I still it didn't really wow me. I didn't care. I feel like it just sort of fizzled out. I think if we had had that reveal way earlier on, maybe we could have done a little more with it. We could have gotten to know Margaret herself a little better. We also maybe could have gotten to know Hayden a little better, because I really don't feel like we got to know Hayden at all and who he was. I do feel like I know Alice, but again, this is told from just Alice's point of view in the present day, at least I think. I could be wrong. And so we know a lot about her, who she is, and her past, and her family dynamics, but we don't really, I didn't feel that way with Hayden. I didn't feel like I knew him at all. So I think I'm probably gonna land on like a 2.5 star for this, maybe a 3. I don't know. The ending, I did really like that ending. I did, but the lead up, like, it was just so boring. It was really boring. So I don't know. I really regret buying the physical copy. I should have not done that, but here we are. Here we are. I did listen to the audio. The audio is narrated by Julia Whalen. It's not Morgan Wallen. It's Julia Whalen. And she does a phenomenal job. So if you do want to read this book, I would highly recommend the audiobook. It's just, this is a big no for me. Big fat no, and it's a little disappointing. I have a couple days before the next book that I'm going to be reading for this. My hair is, for this vlog, and that's going to be The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata. That's coming out on the 2nd. Today is it the 28th? 29th? I think it's the 29th of April. Is it? I don't remember. But yeah, very excited. I keep moving it. I'm so sorry. I'm very excited for that book. It's been a while since I've read a Mariana Zapata, and I'm supposed to be buddy reading it with Baron from the book Baron, so really excited to do that. But yeah, I need to go and get some groceries, so I'm gonna do that. I wanted to show you my outfit first. I think it's cute. Piper was like, yeah, so I don't think she really liked it. I think she was just trying to be nice to me, but okay, I think it's adorable. Okay, I got the yellow shirt, which yellow is really in right now. It's really in. And then these shorts, just like blue and white stripe. And my belt. I don't know what shoes I'm gonna wear. I think I might wear these sandals, but I'll go grab them. Hang on.
A little bit.
Sure. So I might wear these sandals with it. I don't know though, because it's got the yellow and then the blue.
I think you look cute.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think you actually like my outfit.
I do, Mom.
Okay.
I
Do you want to show them what you're wearing?
Oh, so I'm wearing my blue leggings from Aerie, my Converse,
Here.
and my UK shirts.
Yeah. Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah. I really like the Kentucky Wildcats.
Mm-hmm. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. I have to make a grocery list, and then we'll go
Okay.
get our groceries. Bye. Hello. I am sitting here trying my best to read The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata. I am like 12% in, and I am struggling hardcore. Like, hardcore struggling. I know that Mariana, like, obviously she writes slow burn, so things are going to be a little slow to start, but this is like, can we get something going here? Like, come on. It seems repetitive too. So, I don't know. It's just like long and drawn out. I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling. And I feel like I don't necessarily remember even the beginning of her books feeling so slow. But I also, most of the books that I have read from Mariana Zapata, I have listened to. So maybe that helps a little bit. I'm sure it does, but that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, why is this feeling so different? And it is a little different than what she usually writes. It's a, like, I wouldn't say it's fantasy. It's more like paranormal, cozy paranormal. It's like set in, our world, but there are magical creatures. And so our heroine, Nina, she finds this wolf creature. She doesn't really know what he is, but he is growing very rapidly. His eyes are like glowing red, and then all of a sudden his tail is like on fire. And so she ends up going to this compound where a lot of these creatures choose to live because it's, safe for them and they can be themselves and not have to worry about anyone trying to hurt them, things like that. And she goes because her friend Maddie used to live there, and is Henry, I forget if it's his uncle or his cousin, but he is like one of the main people who is over this compound. There are elders and there are rules set in place too, where like she has to get married. And I think she has like a year to find like a suitor, possible suitor. So there's stipulations to her and her wolf being there. And like there's a Sasquatch there. There's what did she call it? Because it was getting on my nerves. The centaur / goat. I think that's what it was. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, like it's different. So I want to keep going, but also I'm struggling to want to pick it up. So I hope it picks up a little bit. Just something to get me interested in it. But that's where I'm at right now. We'll see how it goes though. Hello, I have an update, but first I got book mail. So we're gonna open that. I know what book this is because it came out, I believe it was yesterday. Sorry, I'm looking for something to open this, but I don't think there's anything in here. So we're just gonna rip into it. I've had this pre-ordered for quite a while. So. Yeah, okay. I'm so excited. I am so excited to read this book. Oh my gosh. I loved A Fate Inked in Blood, which is book 1 in this. Is this, I don't even remember if this is a duet or what. I should look into that. But this is A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. And it's got the sprayed edges. It's red. I'm so excited. Fantasy, romance, Norse mythology. If you have not read A Fate Inked in Blood, I highly recommend you do that. Now, let's get into a book that I was not expecting to put in this vlog, but I decided to anyway, and I finished it. And it's a very hyped up book. Very, very hyped book. It's getting a lot of buzz. Good and bad. Silver Elite by Dani Francis. Now, the things that I have seen about this book, it's like all over the place. And most of it is people trying to figure out who this author is. And to that I say, leave them be. Leave them be. There's a reason why they haven't shown their face on any social media. And there's a reason why this is a pen name, okay? We have to respect that. Leave them be. So this is supposed to be, or it's being hyped up to be the next like Fourth Wing, okay? Just the it fantasy romance of the year, okay? I mean, the way that people are talking about this book is absolutely crazy. And I've seen some people that I trust their reviews giving this like 6 stars, okay? Saying it's like just absolutely fabulous. And I think I'm landing on like 3.5, 4 stars for this. Like, it was good, but this did not blow my mind. It didn't blow my mind like the people said it was going to, okay? It's definitely one that, I don't know. I don't want to be mean because like, I don't really have anything bad to say about this book. I truly don't, but it's just the hype that this was getting. And I'm like, how much were you being paid? to say these things. Like, are you getting paid for this? Because, okay. Anyway, what is this book about? What is it about? We're following a girl named Ren. This is a dystopian novel, and I think where a lot of people have been going wrong and the marketing has been going wrong is they're saying that like the heroine in here is Katniss, but for adults. And then they're saying it's like Hunger Games or Divergent. And those are very, very, very beloved series. And Katniss is a very, 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 like, people love her, okay? And they love the Hunger Games. And Divergent, the same. So I understand why, from a marketing standpoint, why you do things like that. And you say like, I mean, it happens all the time with Sarah J. Maas, for fans of Sarah J. Maas. But it just sets people up to have these very, very high expectations going into your book. And then if it's not like spot on or it doesn't meet those expectations, it's like they're pissed. So like you're taking a big risk when you do stuff like that, when you compare your book to things like that. So I've never read Divergent, and I just read The Hunger Games, which I don't really see her as being like Katniss. I don't know. I didn't draw any parallels there. Maybe you did. I did not personally. But yeah, for Divergent, I kind of know the premise, but I've never read it or I've never watched the movies. But I do know that the main girl is like, she has powers, but she has to hide them in like a school academy. And that's what happens here. So in this dystopian world, 150 years prior to this book taking place, there was a biotoxin that like infected some of the population, but the other part of the population was like immune to it. So the ones that were immune to it, who are still like normal human beings, are called primes. And then the people who were affected by the biotoxin, they are called modified. And so they have gifts, different like just powers that this biotoxin gave them. And like, we don't really know why, and that was never really explained why in this book. Some people, it affected some people and it didn't affect other people. And then like why the powers, like why did you develop these powers? And like it's what am I saying? I'm like in the middle. I'm almost done with my pre-workout, so I'm like okay. And the calm down. The main powers, at least in here, that I noticed that people get have to do with like the mind and controlling the mind. So like telepathy and mind reading, and you can kind of persuade people to do things through, you know, your mind, and you can kind of tap into their mind and make them do things. So our girl Ren, she is blood marked, but she has hidden that from everyone. The only person who knew that she was blood marked is her uncle. And now at the beginning of this book, she is on her way home and she stumbles across a boy who is being attacked by a wolf. And she decides that she's going to kill this wolf so she can save this boy. And she knows, I can make this shot and kill the wolf and the boy will be free. And so she takes the shot and she kills the wolf, literally like in the center of his eyes. And there were some people in the like command army, whatever, who saw that, and now they're like, what are you? Who are you? And so they put her into the, what is it called? Silver Block. Yeah, she is forced to join the Silver Block, their most elite training program, where it will be determined if she will just be like a soldier in the Silver Block or if she will join the Silver Elite, which is the most like sought after, most prestigious, group to be in. And that is where she meets Cross. Cross is the son of the commander, and the commander is very much against the modified people. He puts them in labor camps or he will kill them. So Cross is her enemy in the sense that he is fighting against her. Not necessarily like we don't like each other. It's that we shouldn't like each other because we are on opposite ends. He is a prime and she's a modified. So you are following her as she's going through these trainings to see if she's going to join the Silver Elite. And things kind of go from there. The ending, I will say, it does leave off on a cliffhanger. But a lot of the things in here, like the twists and turns, they were very predictable. Like I wasn't shocked by really anything that happened in this book. But on the other hand, like I was still enjoying it. I started the audiobook for this yesterday and I finished it this morning. So it is a very easy, bingeable read, but it's nothing, I don't know, it's just not that book that everyone is like hyping it up to be. If it was for you, I'm so glad, but like it was just okay. And like every sense of the word, it was okay. The world building is okay. Yes, it's easy to follow, but like it's nothing really new here. The romance, again, like there is a really sweet element to it that I think is supposed to be this like big reveal, but it really wasn't. It's like, okay, I saw that coming from a mile away. But it was sweet, but it didn't wow me. I wasn't like totally in love with their romance and just like swooning over them. I also feel like Cross could have had just like a little bit more of a personality, like just a touch more personality. I think there were side characters that had more personality than he did. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's an easy read. It was a fun read. It's just not like the next big thing. Will I continue the series? Probably. And I hope that maybe we get more POVs in the next book. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how things go. So yeah, I'm stuck between like anywhere from like a 3 to a 4 star. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Silver Elite. I did get the Book of the Month edition, so it's very pretty, but yeah, it's buzzed, it's hyped up, okay? And I didn't hate it. I wish I could tell you that I absolutely loved it though. I mean, it was a fun time, but it was okay. It was okay. The next book that I'm going to read is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This is another fantasy romance, and this is Devney Perry's first ever fantasy romance. I'm very excited to read this, like so freaking excited. I'm so excited. Okay, but I'm gonna go and work out and update you when I have an update. So peace out. Nearly every update that I have done has been right here. I feel like I'm always at this desk. Either I'm working or today, well, right now I am making some content. Well, not making content, I'm planning content for my Patreon that I actually just launched today. So trying to see like what videos I want to post and film. Exciting stuff. But I am about halfway through Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This book is just so freaking pretty. I don't even remember if I showed. Oh, it's gorgeous. When this book was announced, I immediately purchased it. Like I pre-ordered this. So I've been waiting on this book, and reviews have been really, really good. Really good. I feel like it is being a little bit outshined by Silver Elite, which is a shame. But 50% in, like I said, and I had a theory at the beginning, and I definitely don't think I'm right, which is why I try not to theorize and try to figure things out, because the crap that I come up with is like, what is this? Okay, anyway, let's talk about what is this book about. So we are following Odessa. Now, Odessa lives with her father and her stepmother and her sister, like stepsister, half-sister, and stepbrother. So her mother passed, and her younger sister, even though she is the oldest, she is the spare princess. She has kind of just been like kept away pretty much her whole life, and her sister is the one who has been trained to one day marry a foreign prince for, you know, an alliance, treaty, what have you. But the day comes where this prince is coming to get her sister, to get his bride, and they get there. And he's like, I don't want you. I want Odessa. And because he killed these 7 beasts, I forget the name of them, he's like, I'm gonna enact this clause and override Odessa's father to get what I want. So Odessa, she thinks that, you know, she's gonna be losing a sister, but it turns out, oh no, I'm getting married, like right now. And I would say, I mean, she takes it pretty well. Without, you know, really knowing like what to expect. But this prince, Xavier, he did not come alone. He brought the Guardian. Now, the Guardian is a very feared, very powerful man. He's got quite the reputation. And Odessa and this Guardian have way more chemistry than she does with her husband Xavier. Now, my theory was that Guardian, because at this point we don't know his name. He's just Guardian. He's kind of mysterious still at this point in the book. But when I first started reading it, I thought that they were the same person, that Guardian and Xavier were somehow the same person. And like Guardian was manipulating things or had the power to like control another person. I don't know. And especially it was really weird too, because Xavier likes to let people think that he can't speak. So he didn't say anything when he was getting married to Odessa. Guardian spoke for him. So it's like, are you really married to him? Are you married to Xavier, or are you married to Guardian? Like, did they manipulate that? And then there for a while too, it was really weird. Like, Guardian would leave and then Xavier would pop up. And then when Xavier would leave, Guardian would come back. I don't know. Am I crazy? I'm probably crazy. But I have a feeling that there's going to be some twists and turns in here. There's these monsters that are sick. Their blood is green. So like, that's not normal. And she's trying to figure that out. And also her dad was like, I need you to go and spy on them and like eventually make it back to me, because he's got his own agenda. There's some stuff going on. So we'll see. I'm enjoying it so far though. But yeah, that's all I have to say right now. I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to keep planning, and I will update you.
when I got an update.
I literally just filmed the intro because I always forget to film intros, and then I'm stuck at the very end filming the intro and the outro at the same time, which is fine, it's fine. But this is going to be the last update for this vlog. I did decide to DNF The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata. You guys, I just could not get into it. I stopped around, I believe it was 45% in, and I didn't care. I did not care. It was such a struggle to pick this book up. And I'm really disappointed because I've given pretty much every Mariana Zapata book that I have read has been a 4-star or a 5-star. I think her earlier works that I've read, maybe one of them might have been like a 3-star, or two of them maybe a 3-star, but for the most part, like I love Mariana Zapata, but this one, I don't know, something's not clicking with me. So maybe if she does put out the audiobook, I might try and pick it back up again, but otherwise, I don't know when I'm gonna get to this. And it really sucks because I bought that beautiful special edition that she had. So now I'm gonna have this gorgeous cover and I didn't even finish the book. So that's what I get. That's what I get, yeah. Okay, now I did finish last night. I was literally listening to this and reading along on my Kindle in bed because I had to know what was happening, okay? I had to know how this was going to end, and that is Shield of Sparrows. I don't have my dust jacket on, I took it off, but I mean, this is still, it's so pretty. And I'm too lazy to put it back on, so you're just gonna look at this. Okay. I liked this better than Silver Elite. I will say that much. This was really, it was good, but I think I'm gonna land on a 4-star rating for it. My biggest gripe being that the pacing was a little off. I felt like the middle really just drug. It was a slog to get through the middle portion of this book, but the last like 20% did make up for that. But still, it's I don't know. It was feeling, the middle was just feeling like a little redundant, you know, and I'm like, okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get somewhere. Let's do something. So that really brought the enjoyment down. I did overall like the romance, and I don't want to say anything about my prediction that I made earlier, whether it was right or wrong, because I don't want to give anything away, but also I think it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious, but I still don't want to spoil anything in case, just in case. But I mean, what I had spun up in my head was, it was wild and it was out there, but you know, here we are. So yeah, I think 4 stars for this. I am going to continue the series. I liked the monsters in this world. I thought it was pretty unique in that way. Like, I don't think I've read something like this before, and it didn't feel, I was worried because this is her debut into fantasy romance, and I didn't know how like trope heavy it was going to lean. And in my opinion, it didn't fall into that category. And it's definitely, the romance is slow burn. I don't even think they have their first like sexual interaction until a good probably at least 70% of the way through the book. I mean, you can tell they have this banter and they're very kind of playful, but in like a I hate you kind of way. So I liked them together. I really did. I liked Odessa. I know that she was a little naive, but it was because of how she was brought up. You know, she was meant to just kind of be, she called herself the forgotten princess, and she was. And so she didn't get all of the training and things that her sister did because her father was just going to marry her off to a commander in his army, and she would just be a wife and a mother, and that was it. That was all that was expected from her. But now she's in this role in this completely new territory, and she's fumbling and trying to figure things out. And I really liked how she pushed back, how she said no to the hero, and ultimately she took control of her life. She was tired of men telling her what she's going to do, when she's going to do it. And she's like, no, I've had enough of that. So I did really appreciate that. But the pacing really just, it got me. So 4 stars. I still recommend this book if you want to, give it a shot and read it. I think it was good. So yeah, that is all for this reading vlog. I am planning on doing just a little teaser here for you. I'm gonna do a wrap up video, review video as well on, I have a cat crying outside the door. I'm gonna do a review video of lots of other new releases because May has just been stacked with new releases. So I've been reading them and I'm gonna do a whole video review. But if you have made it to this point in the video and you'd like to let me know, leave me a bird emoji in the comments down below, because this has a bird on it. Shield of Sparrows, sparrow, bird. Leave me a bird in the comments. Also, let me know if you have read any of these books, and if you have, what you thought of them. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.